Unicum's perspective. So what I'll do is I'm going to play a couple of epic replays in the background while we talk a little bit about this. And then I've got a couple of things to share with you guys too, to show you you should relate to this. Honestly, I think it's important. After what we saw last time on Tuesday with talk about targeting a Unicum player, I think it was Quad Q that submitted that replay. And Quad, if you're here, it'd be great for you to hear it too. I think it's a good idea to talk about what motivates people in World of Warships. So let me, let's see, this is so Meta Boats. I'll ping him real quick. And I gotta gotta fix this thing here. So chat, I want you to do me a favor. Anybody in chat, I want you guys to tell me right now what motivates you to play this game. Why do you keep coming back and playing this game? Please, just put down what it is. What are you most interested in when you play? Potential answers could be, I'm grinding up lines. Nothing, I don't play. The sea ships blow up. Hard Island, thank you very much for the follow. Playing with friends, good, I like that. Strategy, okay. Blowing friends up. Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that, would I, Crimson? Okay, any other reasons? You love Kaboom and Praisin. Kill my friends. Ah, okay. Desta says there's a dedicated community behind this this game. I can't abandon my clan. I love it. I get it. Duckman says Miss Lady Evil Kitten. Khan says at first it was playing in a division with the clan, then it was to grind ships, then it was to get better stats. Okay. Kitten says I have made amazing friends. Sloth says playing against other players. So you like that feeling of, you know, I have to work hard and try to beat them and outthink and play my opponent, right? Desta says that, and there's also a competitive scene that I want to get into. Okay, so and Sithkit, you're kind of getting into that too, right? The idea of trying to get good, right?
Exactly.
Analyst says strategy, boats, and big booms. And of course, we all love our death picks, right? And the big booms. The sound of those 5-10mm guns going off in this game is fantastic.
I cannot lie.
Right? You play because boats and stuff. Catalina wine mixer. Because the seal meat is delicious, says Papa Smurf. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the problem is, for the longest time, I was the seal meat that he would club. A lot. That's how I met him. He just killed me all the time.
Duckman says the subtlety of positioning keeps it ever interesting. Okay. So, I want to ask you guys. A number of you have said, because I want to improve, I want to get better. I want to get better at positioning. I want to get better at shooting other people, playing other, whatever. Let me ask you this. Let's get you out of co-op first. Oh, Panzer, with the shade. So let me ask you guys this: imagine you have achieved a level of mastery in this game. You've gotten to the point where you can do most things just fine. What the hell are we about to see here, by the way? You can do most things fine. You no longer need to get good, because you're good enough. What is there left in this game for players like you? What do you think? Analysts need to get back to clan battles at some stage. Need to steal. Okay, so grinding resources could be a good reason. Sure, that you could play. Panzer says I'm a tomato player. Duckman says Research Bureau. Alienor says I'm master blowing up ships now. I need to learn how to make sure it's one of the boats I'm not driving. So, alright. So here we go. Now we've caught up. Edornika says new ships is definitely going to be something that might make you interested in the game, right? Might make you coming back, especially if it's a ship that you're excited about or you like to play, right? But you're probably only going to play those ships for a couple of battles if you're going to come back, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm back to this again, or I remember why I stopped playing, or I remember why I don't care, blah blah blah. Okay? The friends. Papa Smurf says the friends. Absolutely. If you've got good friends you love to division with, you want to come back and play the battles with and stuff like that, 100% agree with you. It's definitely a good reason to keep playing. As a Unicum player who understands most of the game, your friends is definitely going to be something that keeps you coming. Right? Am I doing research for Wargaming with the Zath chat? Con? Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if Wargaming watches these chats, and quite frankly, I don't care. When I talk to you guys about how I feel about the game and things that are important to me, I hope you guys by now have realized a lot of this comes from the heart. A lot of it's very important to me, and I really do want to make sure that you guys, you guys feel like, what you're getting is the real Zath, and not propped up for reasons. Okay, the artwork, Duckman says. So you come back to the game and you keep playing as a Unicum player who understands all the mechanics of the game. You come back because of the beauty of the game, because you like to see how beautiful the game is. Perfect, okay. Wiki pain. At that stage, if I even get there, I'd ask myself, am I one of the best? Improving in the competitive scene would be the way to go. Ah! But I'd be polishing skills realistically. Okay, okay. Desta, you're starting to... Okay, I like that idea. So, you get there, but you know you can be better, right? You know that you can do more. And you start focusing on maybe specific skills that you're not so good at. Maybe it's YOLOing ships, like what we've been seeing Somata boats do here, right? You can just go in and start working on that skill, right? The point I'm trying to get at is a Unicum player doesn't play this game for the same reasons that many of you play this game for. Okay? You're too slow to claim the drop in chat. That's okay. So, well, let's go back to what we were talking about on Tuesday, where we saw a Unicum player in a Unicum clan being, forced, being basically focused to death. Okay, let's think about that for a couple minutes. Shadow the Demonic Hero. I love that name, by the way. Reason that I was drawn into WoW has been fascinated by naval artillery. Oh my god, yeah, me too. The scale of advancements from before World War I all the way to World War II, and now getting into the Cold War. Oh, look, guys. I scored a drop. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. YOLOing and ranked. Hey, Sea Raptor's here.
Hey, what's up, Sea Raptor?
How you doing, Sea Raptor? Go ahead and do that shout-out thing for him.
Of course. Already on it. Come on now.
Thank you, thank you.
The fact that you would insult me by telling me to do it is kind of hurtful.
Oh, come on. I know you're already doing the thing. I just want to make sure we don't miss and forget the thing. All right, now I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna bring up a browser window, and I'm gonna take you guys into a world that many of you guys maybe don't know exists right now. Hey, no worries, Sea Raptor. No worries. All right. Here it is. Let's turn Stevie off so we can see the page better, and we know we're ready for our battle, but we're going to hold our battle for just a little bit. You know what I'm going to do, actually? Can I do this? Where is it? Where? There it is. There's Stream Reader. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to go to the game, and I'm going to completely mute the sounds, the music, and the sound effects. And we're gonna just run the battle, and then I'll pick something, and then we'll go into the next one. That way, I can talk to you guys, and we don't miss out on some of this kind of stuff.
Ooh, look at those chairs.
Yes. And speaking of which, I have one of them right there. See, I got the Targaryen.
I know
chair.
you have the dragon one.
That's right. That's right. I think it's
got any with kittens?
Is it what?
Do they got any with a kitty on it?
They actually, I think they do. I think they've got a pink one with a cat on it.
No.
Uh-huh. But that's not why we're here, and that's not what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, I'm looking it up.
Okay, go right ahead. I haven't played for 21 days, question mark. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now take a look. These are my stats, okay? This is a stats site. Some of you guys might be familiar with it. It's called wowsnumbers.com. Okay? And in wowsnumbers.com, you get essentially a statistical leaderboard here. It gives you all the information about who you are and all that kind of stuff, okay? Note, I think if you hide your stats, you can't see this. Now, you can look yourself up. I have a shortcut to my name, and I can see where I'm at. It gives me an idea of how many battles I've played. It tells me my win rate, my PR. We'll talk about that in a second. How many battles I survived. I am very proud, ladies and gentlemen, of my 69% win rate. Need to get my survived battles up a little bit. My average damage, destroyed warships, etc., etc., etc. All that good stuff. Okay, it gives me my win rates and the various types of ships. Interesting that my highest win rate is the aircraft carrier, and I think that's my lowest PR. Yep, lol. And then anime thing. And then it gives you charts. It gives you an idea of where you are as a player over the course of time, what's going on with your damage, your experience, how many battles you're playing each week. Per month, all that kind of stuff. Now, somebody said, Zath, you're not playing any at all. Well, I am. But this is random battles, and you have to understand that when we talk about random battles, I have not improved much, no. Because well, that's what happens, right? When you get good, you kind of plateau. So, what I'm getting at is, when I play test ships, those don't count in the stats here, so that's why it shows 0. I am playing random battles, it just doesn't show because I'm mostly playing test ships, or if I'm playing other stuff, I'm playing ranked battles. So you can see here's my overall ranked battles performance. I've played co-op battles, so you can kind of see, stats in co-op and all that. Hey, Gary. Yeah, I could get double 69, that's true. All battles? I don't know. Whatever. In any case, up 68.99% in overall total. But in any case, it also breaks you down into divisions and whatnot. So, when you're talking about, I feel like I've mastered the game, one of the ways that any player can keep track of have I improved or not is going to a statistics site like WoW Stats and Numbers and then putting that information in. Now, one of the things that I like to do with this too is look at my maximum numbers and stuff like that. For example, I think it's hilarious that I've killed 9 ships in the Cairn of Galbert. I actually have that video on my YouTube page, right? Or I've killed 8 ships in the Kuma, or even 8 in the Arizona. That's right, Seer After. Deal with it. And then my maximum damage, right? Like, it's kind of fun to look at that too, and how many planes I've destroyed and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's a lot here in information that you can see. Now, look at my personal rating. My PR is highest at tier 1, so I guess I should just keep playing tier 1 ships.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, M Captain?
What's up, Captain?
Close?
Some of us just have to have a break from randoms. That's right, Desto. In any case, and then you can go down and you can see how you're doing with weapons. You can look at your records. You get more ads, and then you've got stuff for ranked battles and stuff like that. These are test ships, so it shows when test ships come in and stuff like that. It shows if you've been in different clans and stuff. And then here, you can start looking at it by ships.
Alex Toffee 1 is now following.
Cthulhu says, my first Kraken ever was a tier 1. You stand with the greats. There you go, dude. Alex, thank you very much for the follow. So, in any case, I can see here how many battles that I've played in each of the ships. Right now it's sorted by battle. And I have Puddin and Red Sea Bear to thank for my 473 battles in the Belfast. You can see I'm quite high there. Now, one thing I could do is I can click on the Belfast, right? And the site should take me to the ship. And that advertisement takes me to the ship. And then I can scroll down And this is what's called a leaderboard, right? You have to have, in this case, at least 30 battles played in the ship, and you can sort it by all sorts of different statistics. Most people sort by PR, personal rating. Yeah, the ads are weird. And you can see that this player will probably never play the Belfast again. Why? Because after 34 random battles, he or she has a PR that's putting it at number 1 in this leaderboard right now. Now they could play it in ranked. You could play it in co-op, other game modes, Narai, for example, in operations. But this person will likely never play it again in randoms, because if they play it in randoms, get into a tier 9 battle, and get blapped immediately and destroyed, well, what's going to happen? His or her PR is going to drop, and they will no longer be first place in the leaderboard. So this is a sub-game within the game, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Benny, thank you very much for the follow.
204 is now following.
I wonder if I'm on the leaderboard here. Oh, look, there's Mr. Endeavor. Kami Samurai. Hey, tree diagram. Wow, that's cool. Spied. I am not, because my PR I think was 2,700 and something. A lot of the people that are on here are people that are playing non-stop, that are focused on trying to get their PR up. Now, what's PR? We'll talk about. Let me go back a page up to the top here, and I'll hit this question mark. Okay. Now, personal rating. Let me zoom in for you guys. It's a measure of skill in World of Warships. It measures performance in every warship and compares it to certain expected values. Differences between actual and expected values are used to calculate your final PR value. Okay, so most of the times your values will be between 0 and 3,000. Now, you saw on that leaderboard, all those people on the leaderboard, the top 100 had a PR of over 3,000. Guys, if you're familiar with statistics, you've probably heard of a bell curve, right? So think of this as a bell curve. Okay, the closer you are to 0, the farther to the left of that curve you are, and the closer you or higher you are, especially above 3,000, the farther to the right of that bell curve you are. Okay, and when you're at like 4,000 or 4,500 PR, you're at that very end of that bell curve, very end. Okay, where there's very few people there. The vast majority of people in a bell curve are in the middle, right? And those are people that probably have a PR of around 1 to 2,000, because that's statistically where the majority of people are, okay? And then, let's see, what else is there important? Here's the formula, okay? So your formula, your rating, is going to be based on, essentially, how much damage you get, how many wins you have, your win rate, essentially, and how many ships you kill. Isn't WoW's more of a left-skewed bell? It probably is, Ollie, but I'm just trying to make it simple for everybody to understand how a bell curve works. That's all. Okay.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was looking at my stats, like, what warship I'm best in. Apparently, it's the Stronghold Black.
There you go. Now, your stats are normalized based off of essentially how everybody does, and you can see here the percentages. So your damage is worth 60%, if I'm reading this correct, 60% of your PR number, the amount of damage that you do. The amount of kills that you get is worth 10%. Am I reading this right? I feel like I'm reading it wrong, but regardless, damage is a very large portion of that, and your win rate isn't that big of a deal. Oh, right here. Okay, so you can see damage is the biggest part of your PR. The number of kills is the next big part, and then your win rate is the last thing. So when I say I'm a Unicum at 70% or 69% win rate, right? Most of us that play to win, that's a good thing. But once you've gotten to the point where you've mastered the game, right? If you're going to say, I want to start finding myself on leaderboards places, Well, now you're looking to what we call farm PR. Some of you might have recall in games where especially your SAT score is in voice and talking through things, he talks about not taking a cap to extend the game so that you can get more damage. Why? Because damage is king when it comes to your personal rating. So we call that SAT's school of anything goes XP grinding or generation or what have you, right? That's the whole idea behind that. Okay? And then you can see here, kind of the idea of just some examples. Now, if as a group everybody starts doing better in the ship, then your numbers compared to the average numbers start to decline. Your PR actually starts to drop a little bit. If everybody suddenly starts sucking in a ship, then your PR goes up. So if you go into a ship that gets nerfed, makes it more difficult to do a lot of damage in that ship, then as people continue to play that ship, that damage values start to drop, right? Which means that your PR goes up. Okay, and the opposite is the case, right? If you play a ship that gets buffed and it's easier to do damage, your PR drops. If you're assuming both these cases are, if you're okay, both these cases.
I stayed way longer than I should have.
Oh, sorry. Both
It's
these
okay.
are cases where you're if you're not playing the game at all, if you're not playing that specific ship, then the stats will go up or down just normally based off of how your everybody else essentially is playing. Okay, so anyways, and then it gives you here a PR scale, gives you an idea of like generally speaking what the colors mean and stuff like that. Okay, a good example of that is I can go up here to the let me go up to the top. Ship, there it is, warship. What's the one I was thinking of? Alabama ST. Now, the Alabama Super Test is a ship that is given out to super testers who have earned it. It's got this awesome camo on it. And let's go back to, that's fine. Okay, and here we have a leaderboard for people who have played at least 40 battles in that ship. And I'm currently ranked 5th, tied with Xenostriker, okay, on the leaderboard. Because I was one of the first recipients of the ship, and I played the hell out of it. Now, you can see my win rate, you can see my average damage, etc., and you can see my PR, 1443. How the hell am I 5th place on this leaderboard with such a crappy, call it, PR? That's because it's based off of everybody who has the Alabama Super Test, because there's only a small portion of players that have that ship. Okay, and then they go and they play that, and then they they're learning the ship or whatever. The stats are going to be a little bit lower for overall. Right, exactly, Ali. Small sample size. Okay, but you can sort by anything if you want to. Oh, look, there's Malarkey. Let me go back to Belfast. Let me just pull that back up again. And let's take a look at the leaderboard. I'm very curious. If we sort by win rate, look at this. 95% win rate. Okay? That's somebody who's probably never going to play Belfast in randoms again. Learn and be fun, right? I'm teaching you guys stats. Well, yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Let me just get this battle going on the side here. Just so it's out of the way. Okay. And you can see there's other players who have very high win rates as well. I might even show up on this one. There's Riger. Some of these are players that haven't played the game anymore, too, that stopped playing. I saw Hushabao up there. He hasn't been playing for a year or something. There's Pullacat. Personator. I have to teach lies and damned lies. There you go. So anyways, you get the idea. That's what the leaderboard is all about, okay? Now, Quad, you're still here, I'm sure. Let's talk about what we saw on Tuesday. We saw Triarch, and I've got his stats here. He's given me permission, by the way, to share his stats with you guys, okay? We saw Triarch playing in the Khabarovsk. He's a member of 07. So we talked about, focusing people in 07 because they are a Unicum clan, etc., 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 etc. Okay, you can see his overall stats at a 62%. He is a Unicum. Recent stats quite high. His PR Unicum. Recent PR is Super Unicum, right? You've heard and seen on an old Reddit post that ramming an Alabama super test, unless you were in one yourself or it was already low, it was a bat. Why is that, Shadow? I'm not quite sure about that. Quad says mine are not that great. Okay. And if you give me permission, Quad, I can look it up if you want, but I don't really care. The point I'm trying to get at is, here's where he's at, okay? He's achieved that level in the game where he's happy with his performance and all that kind of stuff. And he wants to... oh, did we lose that dungeon run? He wants to, find something, right? He wants to find something that keeps him going in the game, like we were talking about. So for him, he's looking at stats as a way to improve and all that kind of stuff. And a very common thing that people will do is they will leaderboard. They will work and grind up a leaderboard and try to get in the top 10. Especially if they get that first spot. If they get that number 1 spot in a ship, then, like I said before, they'll stop playing, they'll move on to the next one. Chat, how many of you guys have played first-person shooters before? Whether that be Battlefield or Call of Duty or...
Nested or...
Yeah, any of them. Almost all of those games will have stats, right? Almost all of those games will have things about that get you to keep playing or try something new. I used to play Battlefield all the time, and I remember playing Battlefield 3, and I said, I'm going to get a service star in every gun, and a service star is 1,000 kills in every gun. And that was something that I thought would be fun, right? Like, and see if I could do. Once I accomplished it, what am I going to do next, right? Edernikas, believe it or not, I was actually ranked 22nd in the world for jet kills in Battlefield 3 on Xbox 360 when it was first out, before all this other stuff like that. So I completely get you right there. It was a lot of fun. Absolutely a lot of fun. But, right? So, all right. Now let's take a look at the Khabarovsk. This is the ship that we saw Triarch playing. Now, take a look at the leaderboard. Okay? And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this up right here. Minimum battles are 80. Okay? Now let's go back. I should have left Triarchs up, but oh well, I didn't. What? Oh, I misspelled.
You're missing an R.
Yep. There it is. Okay. Let's bring his stats back up. Now we can look at his specific ability in various ships. Obviously, we're going to take a look at. We can search by specific ship. I always do it this way. I just turn everything off and then pick specific ships. And here's his Khabarovsk. Oh, he's actually played 8 more battles since I looked at this yesterday. Now take a look at his current stats. He's played 48 battles now. His win rate is 65%. His PR is 4,189. Let's go back to the leaderboard. If he continues to play another 32 battles and maintain that average damage, average kills, right? Then his PR will probably stay the same, and he's going to beat Sneaky Snake on the leaderboard. He'll come in first place on the leaderboard. Okay, so Quad Q, let's go back to your battle that we were covering, all right? And he got to watch, essentially, you take him out of that battle. Why was he so upset? Because, obviously, he is working on the leaderboard. He's trying to move up the leaderboard, and so he has, in his mind, he needs to make sure he gets at least that damage in every battle he plays. And what you were doing by focusing him was you were taking him out of that battle, and you were preventing him from being able to get damage. I'm not arguing if it was right or wrong. I don't want to go into the ethics argument here, okay? But I just want you to see it from his perspective and understand from his point of view why he might have been a little bit upset with how that was going down, right? Because obviously you caused a dip on him. Sure, he lost the battle. He probably doesn't care about that. He cares about the damage that he was able to do, okay? And you know, prevented him from getting that damage. Now, also, they do mention too, and they are correct, we talked about this, you know, hey, you could have farmed battleships and stuff like that. You saw a good player, and to you, let's go back to, again, why we play the game, right? Your goal, Quad, is to win the battle, correct? Your goal is to win this battle. Triarch's goal is to do damage. Those are two totally different goals, right? So if I prevent one, yes, okay, you confirmed, thank you. Papa Smurf says, some stat-centric rages on you if you get the better of them in-game. That's new. Well, Papa, again, his goal is not the same as yours. Your goal might be, I just want to come and play ships and have fun. You might not even care about winning, you just want to play and have fun. That's a very different goal than somebody who's playing to win every single time they play a battle, right? Plain and simple. And to somebody who might always want to win, somebody that's in there and just playing to have fun, you get triggered by that because you want to win, damn it, right? And so you look at people that do stupid moves and you say, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's where so much salt and anger comes from, right? Because you want to win. And look at this SOB off to the side here who's playing around with the finger up his nose on his other hand. And he's just having fun, or she, right? So everybody, and I think it's important you guys all understand, everybody has a different perspective in this game. Everybody has a different goal in this game. And it's been hard for me to, you know, pull myself out of this too, because I'm one of the people, stats be damned, I want to win when I play. So for me, I'm always trying to win, right? That's me. Triarch and other players are trying to get up the leaderboard. They're looking at it saying, I don't care about winning or losing anymore. Okay? Because if you care about winning or losing, you get so frustrated looking at people that make dumb decisions, and then it just gets you off track, blah, blah. And it's much easier for you to look at it and say, hey, at least I've got good stats. At least I've got good PR. At least I've got good damage in these ships. Okay? And that's something they could look back at and say, I'm fine. So, part of the reason why I did the Zath chat is because I wanted you guys to understand a world that's very different from most of your worlds. Okay, and that should hopefully help you understand that. Okay, I'm not telling you go out and focus every Unicum out there because they're probably farming PR. It's who cares? Play the game the way that you feel you want to play, the way that you feel is best for you. Okay. And have, if your goal is to have fun, then play to have fun. If your goal is to win, then play to win. If your goal is to grind PR, then play to grind PR. Okay? Do what you want. This is a free-to-play game. There's no reason to have drama. There's no reason to piss people off. There's no reason to troll others, at least in my opinion. Okay? It's all about what you want to get out of the game and making sure that you get that. Hey, Lego Party! W straight into the enemy and then blame your team? Question mark. I don't know why you guys are all talking about that in chat right now. Maybe I missed something earlier.